Georgia and Gonzaga tipping it up for their opener. Winner will face 1 seed Houston on Saturday. Zags making their 26th straight NCAA tournament appearance. Maybe a wolf in sheep's clothing this go around. Certainly looking like it out of the gates. Cliff Battle finds Graham Ike, drops in the floater. Zags up 13-0. Over before it started, fellas.
Another game, right, Joe? You build a big lead, and the other team can't get back in the game. There's Braden Huff from Glen Ellen, Illinois. Shout out to the 60137.
Gonzaga 12 for 20 from the three-point line. My math tells me that's 60% from three.
60% from three-point range in this game, better than 50% from the field overall. The Zags just continuing to keep Georgia at arm's reach throughout this first half. Zags up 20. Battle scored 14 points in the first half. Just over 2 minutes left in that half. Nolan Hickman, one of those triples coaching. When you got the shot, you got the shot. This team absolutely lights out from three-point range, and it's going to be a test for Houston coming up, but had to put the finishing touches on this one first. More from long range. Battle finished with a game high 24, mid-second half now. Zags by 18. Gonzaga goes on to win this one, 89-68. It's their 16th consecutive win in the round of 64, and man, that long ball was falling.
Yeah, but look at the precision passing. That's on time, on target, and you're ready to shoot. Knock it down.
Not just shots, but good shots from Gonzaga, and they took advantage of them. Now set to face off with the top seed in the region in Houston in the first ever NCAA tournament game between teams on active win streaks of 5 or more games. 5 or more Sweet 16 appearances, that is. It's 2 teams that know how to take it deep in the tourney. It'll be Gonzaga taking on Houston in the round of 32 as the Zags make short work of Georgia, 89-68. All right, back with the guys, Coach. This is astounding stuff. 60% from three-point range. You're not going to lose many basketball games at any level. What made them so effective? You alluded to it there. Not just volume shooting, but quality volume shooting.
When you look at Gonzaga, they have a maestro, Ryan Nembhard, led the nation in assists, 9.8 assists. He didn't quite get to my record of 13.3 assists.
There it is.
I'm sorry, little.
There it is. I got you.
I'm so sorry.
He wasn't even close, by the way.
He was close enough. But when you have a coach on the floor that can really consistently make sure that the team is organized in how they want to attack, recognizing mismatches, you know, you only have a certain amount of timeouts as a coach. So you depend on your point guard to make sure that the team is organized. Ryan Nembhard, he does a tremendous job of leading this team, but also with Hickman in Battle, they combine for 9 for 15 from the three-point line. What that does is it creates space. And when you can create space, you can get downhill, you can play inside out, the ball is moving, and the ball had a lot of energy today. But I didn't think Georgia was a very good team anyway.
They did not give their best effort.
No, they weren't one of the better teams in the SEC, even though the SEC had 14 teams make it.
Yeah, the SEC, how they do in the first round. I know I'm getting a lot of love from the great state of Mississippi on not picking them. Thank you to everyone out there. You know, Mark Few's been around a long time, okay? And if they win their next game, I mean, it's a big task. To be 10, as Billy Bob said in Varsity Blues, 10 straight Sweet 16s. That doesn't even sound real. This is my point. I watch a lot of Gonzaga basketball because Braden Huff is my neighbor in Glen Ellen, Illinois. And I sat there all year frustrated because Mark Few refused to play Graham Ike, the transfer from Wyoming, and Braden Huff together until the WCC championship game. They had lost to St. Mary's twice this year. And he starts Braden Huff, and I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting. Braden Huff's been coming off the bench all year. He has 18 points. They beat St. Mary's. Starts Huff in game number 1 today. 18 points, 8 rebounds. Like, teams change. Like, that's a pretty radical move. And you want to know something? As frustrated I was at Mark Few, I give him credit that a little late in the year, Mark, but you did make the adjustment. And, wow, this team has totally changed.
But I want to take you a little further there because this is a Gonzaga team, that maybe was a slower burn, a slower build this season than teams we've expected in the past that were either carrying the weight of undefeated or we knew were going to be real players in the round of 32 and beyond. When you look at this Gonzaga team, their current form, and you put them on a court with Houston, obviously defense first, are going to close out on shots a little bit better than we saw in this one, but You got a hot Gonzaga team, can beat anybody in the country.
Houston makes hot teams look cold.
Okay. tell me how they do that. What
this
do
defense, and I shared it a little bit earlier. I've watched this team practice. I've watched this team in shoot-arounds. I've never seen a shoot-around in college basketball like the Houston Cougars shoot-around. They practice. It's intense. They're diving on the floor. They get taped for shoot-arounds. They do not walk around. Everybody walks in the gym. It's the highest form of discipline and accountability and consistency from a coaching staff. Congratulations, Coach Quanez White, assistant coach for Houston, got the job at Louisiana Lafayette this week. But this team suffocates you defensively, and they pound you on the boards. They make sure, like Texas A&M, they retrieve a high percentage of their missed shots, and it's just a physicality. Gonzaga, they've never seen anything like this year that's on their schedule.
What is the proper brand of basketball to break down that sort of physicality?
Oh boy, you got to make some tough shots, right? I mean, you're going to be late in the shot clock. You're going to have to make double-digit threes. They made 12 today for Gonzaga. If this game was 3 weeks ago, I actually think Houston wins by 15 or more.
Yeah.
But watching Gonzaga, coach, beat St. Mary's in a game in the WCC that really wasn't competitive. They kind of led start to finish, was never close. This game today, never close. You know, Gene Katie told me this, came to my wedding. That was a hair clip he wore. It was a wig, but it was extensions. He said it's not who you play, it's when you play them. Like, this is like the wrong time to play Gonzaga. I think Houston's going to be in for an absolute dogfight. I think Houston's better offensively than they have been in years before.
I agree with that. They're a much better three-point shooting team.
Because if they put up like a 58 spot, I think they could lose this game.
Won't ask you what was in the envelope, Tim Doyle. Johnson. Appreciation as always, fellas. We got another good one on the way in the round of 32. You know where to be for all of it. Right here, CBS Sports HQ. When they go final, we're up, we're talking, we got highlights. Everything you need right here on CBS Sports HQ. And don't forget, download the March Madness app.